In my previous video, I talked about Otome games with gameplay that you can play right now. As I mentioned there are still more titles I haven't covered yet, especially some incredible indie ones I've recently discovered. I even gave a little sneak peek last time. I used to never pay much attention to the indie Otome games, but that completely changed after I came across one particular indie Otome game, which I will share later. Its art and overall quality instantly caught my attention. And after that, I kept finding more indie Otome games with such creative ideas and stunning visuals. I bet you'll be just as amazed as I was. These games definitely deserves more exposure, and I want to help them reach their target audience. That's why I'm so excited to introduce you to this Indie Otome Games Gameplay Edition. Heartflop XL, Romance meets Nihongo. Before that, if you love visual novel story-rich or Otome games, or if you want to learn Japanese with Otome games and experience some heart-fluffy romance, I suggest you to subscribe to this channel because you are in the right place. Let's start with a game that started it all for me, Mirage Noir. This is an Otome game focused on found family inspired by two of my all-time favorites, Ace Attorney and Best of Fellows. You play as Uni, a rookie detective who's quickly realizing that her dream isn't as thrilling as she imagined, thanks to her boss. And one day, she stumbles upon an unexpected case and meets an eccentric team of people she immediately connects with. Uni decides she won't regret getting involved, even if it means crossing paths with a serial killer. After all, when will she ever get this chance again? Just like Ace Attorney, the gameplay leans heavily into detective mechanics, collecting evidence, deduction segments, point-and-click investigations, multi-screen gameplay, and more. For players who only want the story, these gameplay elements can be toggled off, which is a nice touch. What first drew me to Mirage Noir was its visuals. The character art is gorgeous, the backgrounds are insanely detailed and appealing. And now that I've played Best of Fellows, I can clearly see where some of the inspiration comes from. On top of that, the banter and humor give off this same charming vibe that might even spark a sense of nostalgia if you have played Best of Fellows. I honestly can't wait for the full release in 2026. This game has so much potential. But the detective work doesn't stop there because this next title takes personal stakes to a whole new level. In Lover's Enigma, you will investigate your husband's mysterious dad. The official report says he took his own life, but did he really? You play as a woman in her late 20s struggling to balance the wake of complicated relationships, an abusive mother, and your own mental stability. To uncover the truth about your husband's dad, you'll have to navigate a web of secrets involving a mysterious cult, personal traumas, and tangled relationships. Even though it's clearly marked as a horror game, and I'm such a scaredy cat, I couldn't resist trying the demo, and I'm glad I did. The eerie atmosphere really comes true, but it's not overwhelming for my heart to handle. What hooked me, besides wanting to know the real reason behind her husband's death, was the four love interests. They are widely different. From an exorcist helping with your spiritual problems, your childhood friend roped into a fake dating scheme arranged by your mom, your sarcastic short-tempered neighbor, and your dead husband. Yeah, I have no idea how that romance route works, but it's definitely intriguing. So far, I've only played Renjiro, the sarcastic neighbor, and wow, I did not expect that side of him or the dynamic between us. I love it. Visually, the game used a striking black and white style that gives it a classic retro feel. But when you hit the CGs, they are fully colored and even animated, which honestly left me in awe. It's beautifully done. As for the gameplay, you can explore maps, meet NPCs and love interests, handle daily tasks, play rhythm mini-games to maintain your sanity, and make important choices that shape the story. There's a lot to keep track of and plenty of mystery to uncover. The full release is planned for late 2025 and I'm already bracing myself for it. And we're not stepping out of the shadows just yet, because Silent Kingdom pulls us even deeper into a dark, cursed world full of sorrow. This is a story-driven Otome RPG with a turn-based battle system, developed by a single dev. You play as Princess Erinys, whose kingdom has fallen under a devastating curse. To save both your people and the ones you love, you must stand against the entire world and even defy the goddess herself. Your choices and interactions directly shape the narrative and determine the protagonist's fate. What really impressed me is not just the dark, emotional, and gripping story, but also the beautiful fantasy world and the sheer number of CGs, especially knowing this was all made by one developer. If you enjoy dark fairy tales, meaningful decision making, and turn-based combat, this is definitely one to watch. Alright, I think we all need to breathe a little after that, so let's switch things up. Salty Hounds is still packed with romance, but this time we're trading curses and battles for a gorgeous pixel city and very handsome bodyguards. In this game, you will live a dynamic daily life in a beautifully crafted modern open world city drowned in gorgeous high-quality pixel art. There's so much to explore, plenty of locations, fun mini-games, and countless opportunities to interact with the world. On weekdays, you'll manage your own company, earn money, and meet a cast of unique love interests who move around the city on their own schedules. Your interactions with them change depending on lots of factors: their current condition, their affection level toward you, and more. You will learn what your partner likes, plan your day carefully, and then on weekends, execute the perfect date in a game that really tests your social skills. Nail it, and you're rewarded with some high-intensity romance at the end of every successful outing. As your relationship deepens, the men of Salty Hounds will start revealing their hidden stories, forcing you to make decisions that lead to one of the game's many grand endings. You'll even receive phone calls and text messages from your love interest that you can reply to in different ways. Just another feature that makes this feel like a true dating sim. What really hooked me though is the immersive world and the smoothly animated characters. Seriously, just look at this scene where one of the guys holds the MC's hand. That animation is so smooth. On top of that, there are beautiful hand-painted illustrations and character artworks sprinkled throughout. They're not full CGs, but they are so captivating. I've honestly never seen this approach in other games. And it doesn't stop there. You'll encounter random events throughout the city, activities to raise your skills, and little moments that make the world feel so alive. Everything about this game feels carefully crafted and deeply immersive. But if Salty Hounds feels like a relaxing stroll through the city, then Trials of Babel throws you straight into a brutal climb, where pixel art meets life or death survival. 10 Trials of Babel Doppelganger Maze is a game about racial survival in the deadly Babel Cross. Humans, mechas, spirits, ghosts, yaos, beasts, relics, phantoms, and 2 still unrevealed races all climb the mysterious Babel Tower together. At the top, after surviving 10 worlds, the victor earns glory and the hope of evolution, while the defeated are erased along with their entire race. So yeah, if you don't win, you literally died. It's truly a life or death situation here. You play as Cece, who's suddenly thrown into the race with no warning. She's just as confused as we are. As a total newcomer, she's paired with 3 experienced story divers: Stain, Victor, and Kruger, who become her partners. As the title hints, Doppelganger Maze makes mirrors your worst enemy. Avoid them at all costs or face instant death at the hands of your own reflection. The deeper you go, the more suspenseful it becomes, packed with plot twists and shocking revelations that will keep you on edge. To move forward, you will solve creative puzzles and riddles, explore diverse levels, and meet characters from all sorts of races. This game feels like such a breath of fresh air. The premise alone sounds gripping and heart-pounding, and presenting everything including stages in pixel art is such a unique approach I've never seen in any other Otome game. On top of that, it features full Japanese voice acting, which makes the price an absolute steal. And from what I've seen, a sequel is already planned, so while we wait, you can dive into the base game now on Steam. And speaking of unique experience, let's talk about a game that's less about deadly races and more about mysterious talking animals? Yes, really. This is Dandelion Wishes brought to you. The story follows Hee-jung Kim, who moves out of her mother's house to escape the pressure of strict academic expectations. Hee-jung has always lived a life obsessed with grades, majoring in business administration, average language skills, decent school performance, not particularly popular. The only thing she truly enjoys is the art club. As graduation approaches, she begins to worry about her future. And right in the middle of her anxiety, she wakes up to the sound of animals, only to find a mysterious basket full of them in her apartment. And that's where her story begins. The gameplay focuses heavily on stat raising to progress this story. You'll pick activities that boost your 3 main stats while keeping stress and pressure under control. Items that increase stats or reduce stress or pressure can be bought in the store, found while exploring, or gifted by characters, and some of them are consumable. While performing activities, you'll also encounter characters to interact with, which increase relationship points. Maxing relationship points while meeting stat requirements unlock each character's route. From what I've heard, the gameplay is pretty challenging and can feel repetitive, even though the story itself seems interesting. Personally, I'm still unsure if I will play it, but if it sounds like your kind of game, definitely give it a try. After a stat-rising dating sim full of mysterious paths, let's jump into something with higher stakes and a lot more magic. Stand By Me takes us straight into the world of Desideria, where you're pretending to be someone you're not. Stand By Me is an RPG visual novel where you're isekai'd into the unfamiliar world of Desideria as CL Rose and Blue, an excellent royal military sorceress, but the twist is that you're not actually her. You're a modern misfit with your own opinions and no way to get home, forced to play the role of CL while navigating a world where you don't quite belong. So, will you hold firm to your beliefs or start rethinking your allegiances? This game features 40 plus explorable maps spanning Desideria, Kantara, and Idris, and instead of turn-based or real-time combat, you will fight using a choice-based battle system presented through Dynamo comic strips. It is such a unique approach, and I've honestly never seen anything like it. There's also a social stat system where interacting with characters or succeeding in battles develops your MC from an ignorant outsider into a wise, powerful sorcerer. But what really surprised me is how alive the pixel world feels, full of detail, and how fun the MC's interactions are with each ally. The conversations feel natural and every relationship dynamic is distinct and engaging. They have even upgraded the map and UI over time to improve quality, and it really shows. This game holds so much potential, and I honestly can't wait for the full release. And if playing undercover sorcerers wasn't enough pressure, how about running a haunted hot spring inn in the spirit realm? That's where Okami Okami comes in, with charm, mischief, and a masked white tiger you can ignore. In Okami Okami, we play as Akine, a sharp-tongued former Okami, innkeeper, reborn as a bold Okami, or wolf, yokai, or spirit, with a dangerous talent for flirting, especially with the masked white tiger who saved her. Enter Shimon, the stoic beauty, who is completely clueless when it comes to these emotions, but maybe his silence is hiding something deeper. Our mission is to restore the inn through immersive point-and-click gameplay. Sweep up cobwebs, scrub suspicious stains, and exorcist lurking evil spirits. Discover hidden relics tied to Shimon's mysterious past and unlock secret scenes. Revive the inn's guardian spirits to help restore it to its former glory. But beware, Shimon's trust is fragile. Every choice you make could heal his old wounds or tear them open even wider. I'm honestly in awe of the visuals, a beautifully crafted world inspired by traditional Japanese aesthetics that you can truly feel. The sprite art is stunning and packed with detail. Plus, the dynamic between a flirty MC and a stoic ally, such an entertaining combo I haven't seen in a while. Normally, flirty MCs aren't my type, but pair her with someone stoic? I mean, because he really needs someone to brighten his world. Even more impressive, this game is developed by an Indonesian creator, which makes me love it even more. It's still in development, but you can wishlist it now while we wait for more info. We have managed a hot spring inn in the spirit realm, but now let's trade steamy baths for shadowy hallways. Gothic Murder takes us to early 20th century England, where danger lurks behind every manor door of an eminent earl. Our MC, a maid at the manor, often dreams of events that foretell the death of those around her. Her latest dream warns that the lord she serves is in grave danger. As the household buzzes with whisper about inheritance and the previous earl's will, a terrifying plot begins to unfold. To save her lord's life, the MC must use clues from her dreams to uncover the truth, examining the manor, collecting information, and piecing everything together with your own reasoning. The controls are simple and intuitive, but if your deduction fails, the lord's deadly fate is sealed. Save him, and a secret love may await. The MC's ability actually reminds me of Inori from Sidekicks, since she can also glimpse the future in her dreams. But this power feels even more specific, tied directly to impending deaths. Mystery is one of my all-time favorite genres, and this game delivers exactly that kind of intriguing story I crave. The early 20th century setting is another huge plus for me. And can we talk about the anime style visuals? They look amazing, almost like an anime I've seen before, though I can't quite place which one. Either way, I can feel the suspense and urgency the MC will face all throughout this game, and I'm so ready for it. From death-defying dreams to defying missions, this next title swaps the foggy streets of England for modern-day Japan with a touch of Greek mythology. Enter Fukuro no Musume, or Old Girl, a free game where you're the youngest old sister serving Athena herself. I recently came across this game on X, and the handsome boys plus detailed visuals hooked me instantly. And guess what? Yes, it's free. You can play it on Windows, Mac, or even your phone. The synopsis is pretty short, but here's the guess. The game is set in Greek mythology. You're chosen by the goddess Athena and sent to modern-day Japan as the youngest of 6 old sisters. If I'm not mistaken, this old is the same one that always accompanies Athena. Your mission is to accompany the reincarnation of the hero Aias and help him reach his highest form. To do that, you'll need to improve yourself by leveling up your skills and building stronger relationships with the people around you. The route system is simple. To get the specific love interest route, just focus on improving one particular skill. The ally will change depending on which skill you choose. There are 4 romanceable characters, 2 humans, 1 god, and 1 bird. To raise intimacy, you just invite them on dates frequently. The dialogue choices during the dates won't affect intimacy levels. And yes, the game is only available in Japanese and doesn't have voice acting, which might be a deal breaker for some people, but I still wanted to share it because I genuinely think it deserves more attention. And if you're looking to improve your Japanese reading skills, this is a pretty fun way to do it. You can find a link to the game in my description. After guiding a reincarnated hero in modern Japan, how about unraveling a murder at a vampire-filled academy? Blood Code is ready to test your trust and your heart. Some reviews say it has bad writing, while others say the story is interesting and even bittersweet enough to make them cry. Honestly, just reading the synopsis and feeling the vibe of the game already caught my attention, especially if you love mystery and vampires. And really, what even qualifies as bad writing? Everyone has different tastes, so I think it's still worth giving this game a chance. It might resonate with some of you more than you would expect. Since the Steam synopsis doesn't have the best translation, I decided to write my own version based on the prologue I've watched. In a world where humans and vampire coexist, Leia Evangelist enrolls at the prestigious Star Mirror School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, determined to master light magic. This unique academy welcomes both humans and vampires, a peaceful coexistence made possible after a vampire aided the Divine Clan in a terrible crisis 500 years ago. As a divine gift, the sun no longer burns vampires. Leia dreams of a quiet school life. But tragedy strikes when her father, a man who always treated vampires as equals, is murdered by a group of vampires trying to steal a sacred church relic. Shaken and grieving, Leia struggles to reconcile her father's teachings, especially when evidence suggests the killer may be a fellow student. At the church's request, she agrees to investigate, seeking justice for her father. Who can she trust? Could the murderer be among her friends? And what really happened that day? The gameplay revolves around planning Leia's weekly schedule, arranging her studies, working part-time jobs, or just finding some entertainment. These choices raise her stats, which are tied to the love interest route. High enough scores unlock special cutscenes marked on the calendar with hearts. Talking isn't the only way to raise affection, you can also go on dates or send gifts to deepen your connection. The thing that really drew me in is the gorgeous art. Those lighting effects and beautiful CGs are just stunning. And for such a low price, you're not only getting quality visuals, but also voice acting. Even if the story isn't perfect, the value is incredible. Because if a big-name studio released a game with this level of polish, you can imagine how expensive it would be. The prologue is on the short side, with events moving quickly day by day as Leia settles into school life. I'm not usually a fan of pacing that feels too brief, but don't worry, once you enter a love interest route, the story expands, scenes get longer, the stakes get higher, and curiosity builds as each route reveals its own hidden secrets. To see the full story, you'll need to play through every route and ending, which I personally find exciting because I need to know what really happened that day and what secrets these vampires are hiding. There are definitely some cliches here, so keep that in mind if you're not into that, but I don't really mind them. Most reviews mention that the gameplay can feel a bit grindy or repetitive, but from what I've seen, it strikes a good balance. It's not overly focused on stat rising like Tokimemo Memorial Girls site, which I find too repetitive, and it still prioritizes story over pure gameplay loops, perfect for someone like me who prefers plot-driven games. As for translation issues, the game used to get negative reviews, but the devs have improved it a lot. The updated version is much more readable and enjoyable to play, and I appreciate that the devs actually listen to the feedback and fix it. If you avoided this game because of its old translation, now's a great time to give it another chance. Solve one mystery. Don't get too comfortable yet, because Thesis of Love has even trickier relationships to navigate. Forget vampires. This time, the danger comes from messy human hearts. This game also has gameplay, and based on the demo I played, it feels balanced and not stressful at all. You play as Shizuki, a sociology student who joins the computer science master program at Tsushima Institute of Technology, hoping to become worthy of her crush. There she ends up in the same research group as Masaki and Tetsu, plus their teaching assistant Yonhee, without knowing what unexpected journey lies ahead. And yes, the love interests in this game are truly unique. Seriously, I've never seen anything like it. Why? Because all of the love interests start with existing romantic entanglements and toxic relationships. Masaki has a longtime girlfriend, but something seems up about their relationship. Tetsu is often spotted having lunch with a mysterious girl, and Yonhee, the lab assistant, always wears a wedding ring but never talks about his married life. And it doesn't stop there. There seems to be an even bigger mystery going on. To uncover it, we apparently have to spend our lives and collect memories, and then we will understand somehow. The story really intrigues me, and I honestly love the gameplay too. I can clearly feel inspiration from Tokimeki Memorial Girl side and maybe even Stormlover Kai? Not sure, but there's a feature that feels very similar. It has a Tokimemo style system but without the stressful grind, no overwhelming stat requirements, plus they actually give you clues to help you trigger special moments. The balance is great and it doesn't feel repetitive or exhausting. One thing I personally can't stand about Tokimemo is how repetitive it feels and how I constantly have to check guides just to meet the qualifications for CGs. But in this game, the school simulation system is super easy to learn. You can raise your study stats to pass exams, and they even provide sticky notes to track your progress and deadlines, which keeps everything under control. On Sundays, your schedule can change depending on what you do. You can spend time with the boys, and yes, like Stormlover Kai, the map shows you where they are. Go on dates and later unlock an intimate interaction system with really interesting options to explore. Another feature I love is as your affection with a character increases, the map will show exclamation marks when new events happen. That means it's not just the same thing on repeat. There's plenty of variety. You'll also get quests in your first playthrough with actual rewards, plus you can cook and collect recipes, which I find super charming. Oh, and they added a text messaging feature too. Just like Stormlover Kai, you can get messages from the love interest and reply to them. It feels so immersive. So far, I'm really enjoying it. I didn't have high expectations at first since it's set in a modern setting, but they mixed in mystery and supernatural elements that completely hooked me. Warning! This game is for 18 plus. Not because of the dirty jokes or crude humor, but because the topics are mature. There were some surprising moments here and there, but nothing too crazy yet. I really love how the romance develop naturally. It starts from their first meeting and builds up carefully without feeling rushed. The way the demo ends, I can wait for the full release in 2026. If this game sounds interesting to you, please check it out. If Thesis of Love had us juggling lectures and heartbreak, Celestine 1-11 sweeps us into another world entirely. A dreamy pixel adventure glowing with magic and secrets. Celestine 1-11 is an HD 2D pixel art RPG with a whimsical ethereal feel, which is actually pretty rare to find in games. You play as Celestine, who wakes up in a world where one of her past lives once lived, and now she's trying to find her way home. You'll make decisions that determine her ending, explore a charming pixel art town, and engage in a turn-based combat system. There's not much story info yet, but you'll have 4 love interests. In the demo, there's even a side quest featuring one ally, Secta, a mage who promised to help Celestine study and learn magic. Even with limited info, this game feels full of potential and I was completely in awe of the sparkles and dreamy, magical atmosphere. After basking in Celestine's sparkly charm, the retrospection of tomorrow pulls us into something deeper and darker. 14 years of love, loss, and destiny you just can't escape. The retrospection of tomorrow lets you play as Faye and follow her on a wild journey from adolescence to adulthood. Over 14 years, you'll experience heartfelt moments, heartbreak, challenges, and unexpected thrills. As the story unfolds, you'll uncover the mysterious connection between your existence and your past, revealing the dark secrets buried deep within Faye. This is a non-linear time travel romance visual novel. You'll date 4 captivating love interests, just like any Otome game, until they die before your eyes. Trapped between memories and illusions, fighting the fate itself, can you rewrite your endings? The first thing that caught my attention when I found this game on Steam was its art. It's painterly, almost like a mix of painting and sketch. You can even see some of the rough pencil lines in the sprites, which I really love. And look at the chibi art, so adorable. The backgrounds are absolutely stunning with an overwhelming variety of CGs. My eyes were being fed constantly. This game is clearly crafted with love. The premise is super intriguing since you see the MC and allies at different ages. It kind of reminds me of Clock Zero. I haven't played Clock Zero yet, but seeing characters grow from childhood is so interesting. Because the story is told non-linearly, I was a bit confused at first. Just remember, it jumps between childhood, high school, and university, vice versa, but slowly you will understand the flow. I don't think I've seen any Otome game handle storytelling quite like this. You really need to pay attention to the dialogue. All the love interests are adorable, but for now, Edmund charms me the most. I love his confident attitude and the banter in the demo. They even gave us the animated sprites, mouth and eye movement, and it feels so natural and well done, which I honestly didn't expect. Gameplay-wise, you unlock profiles and terms to investigate, present evidence like Ace Attorney style, and make choices that truly affect the story. And not just a single short scene, but significant branches. One small nitpick from me, the transitions between scenes could be clearer. Sometimes the music continues when scenes change abruptly, and I would suddenly think, wait, weren't we in the library a second ago? Now we're outside? Just a small thing, not a deal breaker, but I hope they polish it up. The game is free to play, consists Act 1 and 2, while Act 3 plus extra content will be part of the paid deluxe edition on Steam in Q4 2026. We have unraveled memories and fought against fate. Now endless dreams hurls us into a future where love and survival hang by a thread. In the future city, for unknown reasons, a supernatural energy entity named Yanluo, driven solely by the instinct to kill, suddenly appeared. Yanluo rapidly split and contaminated all living things, including artificial machinery. After a hellish period of chaos and a confrontation that caused half of the world population, humanity finally discovered how to hunt Yanluo and gradually gained the upper hand. This is a post-apocalyptic mystery exploration romance visual novel. You'll embark on a thrilling and romantic journey with 3 key characters to uncover the mystery of your past. Every decision you make will determine the fate of those you love and the world itself. The demo doesn't have much content yet, so I'm still unsure if there's actually gameplay, but judging from the screenshots and description, it looks like there might be. Even from the start, you can tell this game has potential. The art is absolutely stunning and the eerie vibe is already strong in the demo. It definitely sets off my scaredy cat instincts. Our MC is gorgeous but also feels like she can be badass when needed. And the boys, especially the one we meet in the demo, wow, way too hot to ignore. They have confirmed both Japanese and Chinese voice acting, and from what I've heard in the demo, the Chinese VA is excellent. I can't wait to see more info about this game. After all that dystopian chaos, it's time to close out this list with something dreamlike but no less intense. The Cloud Dream of the Nine sweeps us into a historical fantasy full of mystery and romance. Now, for this one, I'm not entirely sure if it counts as an indie game, but I just had to introduce it. The Cloud Dream of the Nine is an Otome visual novel based on the classic Korean novel of the same name by Kim Man-jung, except here the character genders are reversed. You play as Yang So-yu, a girl living in a village in Hwaju Castle in the state of Chonin. Her father, the fairy god of Mount Gonryun, left for the fairy world after his connection to humanity ended with his wife So-yu's mother's death. The villagers never believed So-yu's claim that her father was a fairy god and mock her as a liar, leaving her isolated. Only Chae-yoon, her childhood friend, practically family, believed and supported her. 10 years later, on a warm sunny day, So-yu's life remains peaceful and pleasant, until a single scream rising out of hot flames shatters everything and opens the door to another world. The synopsis is fascinating, but what really hooked me are the love interests. Just look at these guys, their designs, and even the introduction sentence for each ally. are so good. Every single one of them looks interesting, and with this premise set in historical period, I'm absolutely in. This game deserves more attention. I just have a strong feeling it's going to be good. So, these are all the amazing games you absolutely need to know about. As you can see, we've got a huge variety of premises here, from enjoying your daily life in a pixel art city and romancing bodyguards, to romancing your own dead husband, surviving dangerous worlds, engaging in turn-based combat, even experiencing non-linear storytelling, romancing love interests with complex and toxic relationships, and even investigating deep mysteries. And it's not just the story, there's also a stunning variety of visual styles. Small handcrafted illustrations, backgrounds that look like paintings, battles shown through comic strip panels, fiber-moving CGs, a classic black and white retro vibe, and even pixel art CGs. So many unique approaches and visuals you just don't see from big companies. We've got such diversity and out-of-the-box ideas here that I'm honestly amazed by the creativity these indie creators bring to the table. Like, how do they even come up with this stuff? Because I definitely couldn't. I'm still in awe after discovering all of this. They are geniuses. Honestly, if indie Otome games keep evolving and delivering unique experiences like this, I really think their ideas could rival or even surpass what we see from the big studios. So, what do you think of these games? Which one caught your attention? Which one's your favorite? Let me know in the comments. I hope this video helped you discover some new titles and maybe even find one that really resonates with you. If you're like me and can't get enough of these hidden gems, I also have a video where I talk about underrated visual novels that deserve way more love, so go watch that one too. Oh, and by the way, if you ever want to chat with me about Otome, story-rich games, anime, or anything else, I'm also on Twitter and Instagram. I finally figured out the two platforms I feel most comfortable using, and the ones I'm on the most. That's all for today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!